Hello, beautiful people. I just got back from my trip to Lake Titicaca, and I just wanted to share my experience with you. It was such a powerful experience. I'm still digesting everything. And I also got a cold, so excuse me. It was raining and thunderstorms and lightning and everything, and it was just so dramatic and just very powerful overall. So I went to Lake Titicaca in Bolivia, and Lake Titicaca is a portal. So there are several portals here on Earth, and the reason why Lake Titicaca is a powerful portal, one of the most powerful on Earth, is because that is where the Sacral Chakra is located. So just like we have the chakras, the Earth has chakras too. So Mother Earth has the same energy centers that we do, right? We come from the Earth, so it makes sense. And so the Sacral Chakra, which is associated with emotions, creativity, and the womb, is located in Lake Titicaca, Bolivia. And it's super fascinating because the Earth, there are several energy centers on the Earth, right? The portals. And one of them is in Lake Titicaca, the other one is in Mount Shasta in California. There's another one in Australia. I think it's in Uluru. One more in Glastonbury, England. That's the heart chakra. And in the Himalayas, I think that's the crown chakra. And yeah, these chakras are basically connected by energy lines. Just like, you know how there's longitudinal and latitudinal lines, well, there's energetic lines across the entire Earth, and these are found, these are called ley lines, so you can look those up. And there's a feminine ley line that crosses the sacral chakra here in Bolivia, and these ley lines, the one that's in Lake Titicaca is guarded by a female dragon. So there's a female dragon, a male dragon, protecting these. Because again, they're very sacred and they're very powerful sources of energy. And yeah, it was an amazing experience. So one of the main reasons why I took this trip is because over the last few weeks, I've had many clients and students come to me with issues regarding their sex organs. So these women were having horrible menstrual cycles, like the pain was insane, and they were having cysts and hemorrhages and a bunch of issues. So there's that component. And then another component was just like last week, I was at a sacred plant ceremony in Bolivia, and one of the participants, the download that she received was that the reason why so many women are having issues conceiving children and are having cancer, like ovarian cancer, is because as a collective, as a female collective, we are cleansing and healing the divine feminine. And we're healing not only the divine feminine, but also the womb itself. And so there was that component, and then the fact that the sacral chakra is here in Bolivia, just those three synchronicities was just really a message for me to go do some healing work there. And what I did is I created a crystal grid, and I activated it with the energies there. So I'll explain that in a bit. But what I first want to share with you is that the main message from this trip was given to me after meditation on the full moon, on the Virgo full moon on February 19th, 2019. And I meditated, and the following morning I woke up with 4 phrases, and I am kicking myself for not writing it down and being lazy. But I woke up and I got 4 phrases, but I don't remember the other 3. I just remember the final one that I woke up with. And the message was that the truth is within you. You are the truth. And so this was really powerful because right now we're living in very chaotic times, right? There's so much fake media, and the truth is constantly being distorted. Even within this shift in consciousness, right? There's a lot of energies masked as the truth, and it's really, there's hidden agenda behind that. And so the main message is that the truth is within us, and to trust your intuition, to trust your heart, and to trust the voice that you have, that inner voice, because that will lead you to your truth. And a lot of the time we're searching for things externally, right? We're often looking for teachers, for books, for scientific proof. Everything is external, but the truth, your particular truth, is going to be found within, in meditation, by listening to your heart and expanding your heart. That was also one of the key messages, to expand the heart. Right now we're being expanded so much, and this is part of the ascension process, right? We're ascending from the third dimension to the fifth dimension as a collective, and as we're doing this, we're expanding our energetic bodies, we're expanding our consciousness, but most importantly, we need to expand the heart. And to do this, you really have to follow your heart's desires and just honor your emotions, honor your body, honor your spirit. I know a lot of the time we feel a bit frustrated by the fact that we have bodies and emotions, but these are here for a reason. They're here as tools. Ascended masters, maybe they don't have the same limitations that we do, but that's because we're gifted this privilege, right? Because this is what's going to help us ascend. So don't view it as a limitation, view it really as a tool. And how can you honor and use this tool to heal yourself and to grow, and to expand as your whole being, your whole essence. And yeah, just follow your truth. You are the truth. Don't question yourself. Don't confuse yourself with external things, because consciousness and this magic, you're not going to understand it with the mind, because this is so limited by this 3D physical world. You really have to do it with the heart. And that was the main message, to expand the heart and to know that you have the power. The power is inside of you, and we've often been giving that away. And well, how do we do that? By looking for external validation, right? So how do we reconcile this whole issue of us giving away our power? Is we reclaim that power, and we do that through internal validation, right, rather than external validation. And what that means is unconditional love. So unconditionally loving yourself, accepting yourself, honoring your body, your spirit, and your heart. And once you do this, all the answers are going to come to you. And as I'm speaking all of this, I'm not telling you something you don't know. I'm reminding you of everything you already know, because you already do know everything. You have all the answers within, and I'm simply reminding you of that wisdom that you have within, right? And that's what we're here to do. We're here to activate each other, because we're connected and we're rising through this ascension process together, right? And so that was the main message. There is a lot more that happened, and I'll write that up in the article, and you can click the link here in this video to read more about that. But to just give you a bit of background about what the crystal grid process was like, so it was a really beautiful experience. Like I mentioned, the three components, right, of me having students and clients with issues around their sex organs, and then the woman having insight about we're healing the divine collective feminine, and then this last part about me being here in the sacral chakra in the womb of the Mother Earth, that just lined up. So my intention going to the sacred land was to create a grid for the divine feminine. Okay, so healing the divine feminine. And I'm speaking to all you men watching this too, because we all have divine feminine and divine masculine together. Okay? And what the whole process was like, it was very beautiful, and we tried to keep it very pure. So we washed the crystals in Lake Titicaca because that water is it's charged, and we washed the crystals there, and then we let them out to dry on the sand, and they were being infused with the light from the sun. So there we have the fire element. So we have water and fire. And then the air element was brought in through the wind that was at night when we were creating the grid. Then the earth element is the crystal itself, because crystals come from Mother Earth. And the final element was Akasha. And Akasha came from the gods and goddesses of that sacred space who activated the crystal grid itself. And the formation of the crystal grid has a lot of symbology as well. So it's a amethyst heart, and amethyst is a very soft energy, and it's very healing. And so the reason it's a heart is because it's programmed for emotional, spiritual, and physical healing. And if you want to benefit from this, all you have to do is you just look at the crystal grid, and it's in the link in the bio of this video, and you just look at the crystal grid and you open and expand your heart to receive the healing energy. And then you just close your eyes when you feel called to, and you just go on a meditation. And it's a very powerful grid. And it's there for the collective. That was the intention. So it's collective healing for the divine feminine, but also the emotional, spiritual, and physical healing. And then the circle, the outer part of the crystal grid, was made from quartz and amethyst crystals. So quartz is a crystal that amplifies energy. That's why we used it. And the reason why it's a circle is because it's healing for Mother Earth, because that was a key component of this ceremony. Because we haven't been treating the earth with the love that it deserves. And so it was healing Mother Earth. It was healing that land itself. And it was healing the sacral chakra of the collective. Again, the chakras are wheels, so they're circles, right? And then the circle shape also symbolized the moon, because after all, we were at the temple of the moon. And the outside circle was made of coca leaves. So coca leaf is a sacred plant here in Bolivia. And then we had one more circle around, and that was made up of flowers. And it was just meant to be as an offering to Mother Earth for all the beauty that she has given us. So again, all you have to do is you just look at it, and then you'll absorb its healing energies. You don't have to do anything else. And the last part I wanted to share with you guys was about the message that I got from the gods and goddesses there. And 2 months ago, I went to the Temple of the Sun for the first time in Lake Titicaca. And this Temple of the Sun was made by the Tiwanaku people. These were the indigenous people who predated the Incas. And they had similar cultures. So at the Temple of the Sun, I just felt my whole body shaking. And it was really powerful. I felt like all my cells were vibrating. And I knew that my DNA was getting activated. So there's this idea of junk DNA in modern science, and junk DNA refers to DNA that doesn't code for any information or protein. And so what that means is that scientists don't think they have a function, but this is actually DNA that's dormant from our ancestors and from our starseed ancestors. And now because we're going through this shift in consciousness, through this ascension process from the third to fifth dimension, that DNA is now finally getting activated. And so I knew that was what was happening there. And the message that I got from that first trip was to bring people to the sacred space so that they can have their DNA activated. So on this most recent trip, I asked the gods and goddesses of that sacred space if I could bring people to these lands so that they can receive the healing and have their DNA activated. And their response was, it was so beautiful. They said, bring them to heal, and we will welcome them with open arms. There you have it. If you're interested, I will be bringing a small group of people to Lake Titicaca in Bolivia, the sacral chakra of Mother Earth, the womb of creation, for healing. And the purpose of this trip, I also did some meditation for that, and the main purpose of the trip is to heal Mother Earth. So we will be creating more grids on our trip, crystal grids, and we will also be doing some healing of the divine feminine. And again, this is very important for the females and the males watching this. It's important to heal the divine feminine as a collective, regardless of your sex, because sex doesn't really matter in any of this, because we're all one energy after all. And so if you're interested, this will be a very private and a very private experience. Again, it's not for everyone, but if it calls to you, if you have any bit of interest in anything that I just said, then just sign up for the wait list. It's not you're not committed to coming. You don't have to pay. You don't have to do anything right now. It's just, if you're interested, I'll send you more information about it. And yeah, it's gonna be very powerful and lots of healing for sure, and very powerful. Just even when I arrived, I just felt so much peace, peace that I had never felt this vibration of peace before. And my whole entire body felt light. It's just, you have to experience it for yourself. There are no words to really that can really explain the situation. And lastly, I wanted to say, if any of this was helpful to you, I would appreciate if you are called to give a donation, a love donation for this trip, because I did have to spend several days there and I couldn't work, and to pay for accommodation and transportation and everything. So if you would like to do a love offering, I will also include an option for that in the link below. So I hope that you have an incredible journey, and that you really hone in on your truth, and always know that it's within you, and you're not going to find it outside. It's going to be always in here. Thank you. Namaste.